Welcome, everyone. It's Astrologer Val Evans. Just unbelievable what everyone is having to see, experience. Prayers for everyone involved who are innocent. We're going to be seeing a lot of the very positive and negative sides of Scorpio really intense this year. I thought I'd pull this up, Kristi Noem's birth chart. Here's a quick way to read a birth chart. First of all, I don't have her time, so I just rectified it as a Libra. It doesn't even really matter because if we want to look at it in a simple way, we can see people's experiences as they're a child, which would be looking at Mercury, as an adolescent, which would be looking at Jupiter, then looking as an adult would be Venus, and then looking at planet that represents her now, because over 50, you're going to look at Saturn, we can see all of these experiences. So she's just recently become Saturn in her chart with an opposition to Neptune, which a lot of people in this time in the early 70s have. It can show that you are involved in scandals because of the opposition with Neptune there. But what's so interesting, I don't know if you know anything about Kristi. She grew up on a farm, and you can see that it probably was not very pleasant because, of course, all of these planets here in Taurus is going to show a very big farm influence, farm animals. Her mother would say later that she used to adopt farm animals. So there would be scorpionic and Plutonian energy in her chart. Even though she's not a Scorpio, she might even be a Scorpio rising. It's possible. Revenge, even once she became a rep on Capitol Hill, she was fighting against embryonic stem cell research. So that's going to be Scorpio. But going back to when she was a kid, it looks pretty rough. And it seems as if there was some damage there. A lot of it had to do with dad. Dad is going to be Saturn in your chart. And for her, she had an opposition with Neptune. And also it's retrograde. So it's very weak. With an opposition in Neptune can show maybe addiction problems. Not that I've read that that's the case. Can show that the person is difficult or a narcissist, and it can be quite difficult growing up. Now, Venus squaring Taurus. This is hard life on a farm, and so, but this would be after she turned 18, and of course, what would she do? As soon as she turned 18, she was working her way towards a government position, which would be Capricorn there. So that makes sense. So anyway, you can really see that there was some damage done. There is talk that she made up a story about how her father left her to fend for herself and find her way back home. There's a lot of criticism saying that maybe that was made up and that she stole that story, I think from Orange is the New Black, which of course is a prison. And we see all of these Pisces themes right now with prisons. But it does look like she had quite a difficult childhood. So thought I would put that out there, just in the fact that we're seeing some really damaged people running this country. Now with Black Moon Lilith there, you know what that means. And it is squaring Saturn. So that's a difficult one because you become someone who is unsympathetic. That would have really come in as she was probably 45 and up. Just kind of like take no prisoners. Now, this is her predictive solar return chart. This is what we're going to do to look at her predictions for the year. She had her birthday November 30th. And so if I rectified it correctly, she's a Scorpio rising this year. Thanks, Deb. Lawsuit filed in Brianna Aguilera case against Rugby Club and UT Economics Group. We saw that coming, didn't we? A shock of the jocks. Thank you, Gibson. That's so sweet. Yeah, it is. It's just a few hours for me. I should head over there. I've been waiting to get an excuse for a nice drive. But this day and age, I think everybody's hesitating getting out there. So this is the predictive solar return, and if you're interested in a solar return or just added some classes, there is a forensic astrology class, but if you'd like the class to be crypto as well, we can work that into the lesson plan. They're private lessons, and there are five of them. Virgo, I'm glad you mentioned that because that would be a square to Black Moon Lilith, not having any empathy for the week. We've got Kristi's predictive solar return, and this is what we look at in my readings. We look at your chart month by month to see what's coming up, and we try to get a good idea of what's happening now. Interesting that around this period, we're starting to head into the third house of transportation, that kind of thing. But Saturn was ruling the period here, maybe give or take. It might not have been. Let me see. Actually, you know what? We've got December 30th is here. This is right in the beginning of this house here. And you can see that Mars is here. And this, when you've got a square to the nodes in your solar return chart, it's like, it's an ouch. It is something that's stuck. And with 18 degrees, it is something like, it's the devil that comes in where there's nothing you could do except fight, of course. And so it seems as if there's a feeling of being stuck here because there's so much anger. And what is Sag? That's the Americans. Americans are very, very mad. So she is kind of in the middle of all of that Aries energy. I thought it was interesting how we've got some planets ready to go into Aries in February, Saturn and Neptune. And what's one of the words that you heard when they were talking about this terrible tragedy? They were talking about ICE officers who were ramming or saying that she was ramming a police officer or something like that, ICE officer. So the ram, and we've got Maduro, so mad. We've got headlines that show a lot of words that are, I think there was one headline, mad, mad, mad. So we are going to be seeing a lot of Aries, and we're starting to get ushered into that season now where it's going to be a lot about police. And interesting how Saturn is going to move into Aries. Aries represents New England, and who could potentially be fearful in this time frame, because we're talking about Greenland and kind of New England's right in the middle of that between DC and Greenland, sort of, kind of. So there could be certain kind of fears that are put on people who live in New England. It's just a theory, though. But anyway, so we're working our way through her chart. And what do I want to do? I want to look at who her boss is and what the profile's like. And the profile is the sun here, and that's Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, look at how he is also stuck. It does not look like it's like his hands are tied. He has one small trine, and that goes to the part of fortune in the ninth house of the courts. So he's got somebody on his side, but in many cases, he doesn't have, believe it or not, he doesn't have the freedom that he wants. He is stuck there. So it's very difficult for him. Now, what's really interesting, though, is he's right in front of her. When you see people who are in the first house, there's a lot of people constantly in front of you, looking over your shoulder. And what she has in her chart is this grand trine. And the grand trine, if you have one in your chart, shows that you're able to do what you want. You kind of got free reign here. But what I'm seeing in this chart is possibly some crimes. Now you're going to laugh because everyone's like, you think so? But in this case, there's going to be a lot more. And we've got all the water signs. We've got the moon, we've got Pisces, and we've got Scorpio. And this is some, I'm afraid to say, dead bodies in a river, because you've got Saturn moon. Okay. And this is death. This is dead bodies. This is in a body of water here. And it looks as if there's something secret going on, possibly at night because of Pisces. That's the nighttime. So it's very possible that between now and probably March, beginning of March, this starts coming in. We're seeing something here in the ninth house, which is, of course, the press. So somebody's coming out here. It's kind of crazy because Jupiter is up here and that's a judge. It's not a very good judge because of retrograde. I'm going to say it's a he, is allowing this to happen. It seems like these are murders, but a lot of them. We have Pluto on the rising sign for the USA solar return this year, which represents murder. People could potentially, if they haven't already, started seeing the US in that way, at least temporarily. I'm seeing a big T square here. Now, what would be representative of the MC for Kristi? Isn't that interesting? There's all the kings up here. It's Leo. But it's the government and the sun is down here. So the sun or the government, this is the US government, they are shocking her with something. It's an act of revenge. This seems to come in pretty soon. This would be probably in the February timeframe because that's when Aquarius activates Uranus. So we could see February. And possibly as Uranus comes in, and we could have already seen it here too. It looks as if there's going to be something pretty serious that is going to change possibly her career. And it looks pretty vicious. With Taurus, that is the color green. And who is, green, that would be Marjorie Taylor Greene, who could be in the mix here. But there is a zap. There is a zap. And that's coming in. So let's ask about February for Kristi Noem and see what is happening for her. It looks as if there is quite a shock. Everything gets it's changed. It's almost like vigilantes. Am I seeing vigilantes in February? She's not expecting it. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Maybe not vigilantes. Could be men. Yes, Greenland. Good one. Yep. Gibson. I know. What a start to 2026, Angel. Rio Grande River. Yeah. Let me get a clarifier card for this one, though. There's something big coming for Kristi. And let me just remind myself by looking at what this is. Okay. So that's if I rectified her chart right, it's going to be in February. It might not be. If it does happen, we'll know that we got it right. But Uranus, this looks with a square to Leo too. It looks like somebody's getting fired. It does. Will she be able to manage it, or at least there's a lot of calls for her being fired because that's Leo when you get fired. Uranus is also to quit, to be fired. And just so many planets up here. I have to think about that. But it does. Is Kristi Noem getting fired? Queen of Pentacles. No. Yeah, you're fired the apprentice style, right, Angel? What's coming for Kristi in February? An idea that doesn't go very well. Is this an idea that backfires? Oh boy, does it backfire. There is maybe an initiative to look at people's data or basically just do whatever she wants. So that's going to backfire for some reason. Will her data be breached? Will it be compromised? Kristi Noem's. Okay, maybe. So this is some data. This is just, she's not seeing this coming. She's not seeing this. 5 of Wands reversed. All the competitive people around her, all the people who are fighting. This looks like a fire. Well, of course, it's going to be a fire. It's going to be protests. It's going to be people lighting things. It's going to be torches. Is Kristi going to be affected by a big protest that has to do with flames and people being inflamed in February. Looks like somebody is there in the spotlight and maybe leading it. I don't know. Her movements. Yeah. Is somebody tracking Kristi's movements? No. Okay. Yeah. We were talking about a river, articles of impeachment. Yeah, it was just filed, right? She best not come to Minneapolis. I agree. Let's talk about the river here. Is there a river that we're going to be hearing about that is in Kristi Noem's chart, her solar return chart, where there are, I mean, it looks like true crime times 10. A lot of victims here, a lot of victims in a river. Is this correct? So there will be judgment for this. They're able to do what they want, but they're going to see the other side of this. Who are the victims here? Maybe a dark-skinned or dark features on a woman. Maybe somebody who doesn't have money. Is this the Mississippi River? Thanks, Jen. It doesn't look good. I'll just show you this headline. I just picked this up. U.S. seizes 2 more tankers, adding to pressure on Caracas. That's the cover of Wall Street Journal. 2 more. So we're constantly seeing 2 with, and that's reflected in the solar return chart. And of course, what is the solar return? It is the picture of the sky on the birthday for the U.S. of the U.S. So, and it's arguable about what the birthday is, but we just use July 4th. Lucy, exactly. Thank you. Don't feed the trolls or the feds. Apparently not the feds. So yes, I did. Thanks, Angel. Yeah, it's Minneapolis is shutting down. ICE agents can't, I don't even know, they're going to have to go to the grocery store, but businesses are shutting them out. So they're going to have to go undercover now, which would be Scorpio or Pisces, in order to, have a meal in Minneapolis right now. So, right. Okay. So let's get back here. And so this is Kristi solar return. Now we're getting into some real Pisces stuff here. This is a big deal. I think that there's somebody in here who is causing some trouble. Why do I say that? Because you're seeing some aspects that are not so positive. We have an opposition here to Gemini. Now, Gemini is the thief. Gemini is somebody who sees maybe photos, maybe video, maybe is trying to stop something. So not sure who that is. Might be a Taurus because of the 26 degrees. And then we get into something that's pretty big. This is April. I mean, every month. How does she sleep? With Mars activating in this time frame, which is April, this is going to be something where she can't move. They're like, enough already, whoever they are. But I think this is a pretty big Piscean. This could be photos, like I mentioned, undercover video, something where somebody gets caught, and it would infuriate you if once you get into the Aries time frame and your Mars, your solar return Mars, is not well aspected. This is absolutely infuriated. And it looks like she becomes the center of another scandal because a square to Pisces scandal. She does not get what she wants here. I mean, Saturn moon, this is embarrassment and shame again. So it's really big in her solar return. She's got a judge whenever somebody is in like some kind of court case. I look at Jupiter and see if it's strong or not, to see if a judge is on your side, a judge likes you. I would look at Pluto here, which is the ruler of Kristi's chart. Generally, it does not look like that judge likes her very much. It looks like it's coming up in the next 4 to 6 weeks that there's a clash with the judge here. But then once she gets moving in this direction, because when we look at the solar returns, we go this way, then it starts looking like there's something secret going on. This is a secret judge. It looks like a black judge. I bet you, because Saturn moon is African-American, there's something very deep and secret going on. The powers that be are not wanting the public to be aware of. How is 2026 itself, 12 months from now? How is the U.S.? What are we going to be doing? Give us some kind of indicator on where the country will be 12 months from now. Wow, that one popped out. What is it? Whoa. Looks like there's going to be a lot of people happy. And why are people going to be happy? This is 10 of Pentacles. Maybe that one was supposed to be reversed, but let's get a clarifier card. 4 of Wands, more happiness. Everyone's rejoicing. Are we talking about December 2026? Yes. What? Okay. Why is everyone so happy in December 2026? Oh my God. This one popped out. I guess everybody should start investing in the stock market. And another clarifier card on why the country should be happy 12 months from now. Able to travel. Maybe things are turning around. Maybe go to foreign lands. There's some independence. What are we getting independence from? The Wheel. I mean, have you ever seen so many good cards all at the same time? This is a first for me. Does this have to do with strengthening an alliance with NATO? The World? No. Why is everybody so happy? I'm going to ask it again. Queen of Pentacles. There's something that's happening. People are starting to make money again. Maybe jobs are better. I don't know. Is all of this news, is it real? It's not fake news. Is all of this news that everybody's excited about? And a clarifier card. Well, we're believing someone. Is there a detention? That's a good question. Pisces is prison. Yeah, everyone's hoping. Yeah, or leaving NATO. I just want a card on NATO one more time. Give us some for the next month. What's coming up with NATO? What's happening in the next month with NATO? Maybe there's pulling back some money. Maybe the money's up in the air. The funding is up in the air. It gets taken back. Sun. So it looks a little tense. It does not look like it's successful this month. Got some women in there. He is all next to this group. It's really interesting to see this because this is Trump here, the Sun. This is her boss. In your chart, you can look in your solar return chart and see the Sun and see what your boss looks like. It's nice when the boss has some nice aspects because it helps you. It helps you when the boss is happy. He doesn't look very happy, but he is sticking around. This is a group of like Scorpions here. They're probably advising him on which ways to get maybe revenge. And they are all able to do it through Saturn moon with Neptune is ice. So he's able to get his frustrations out using Homeland Security. They're just all doing his bidding, it seems. That's how he's almost quote unquote feeling better. And of course, like I said, Saturn moon is African Americans. It's not a good time. If you want to look at my last predictions, really kind of crazy what we got. Trump 2026 forecast. Make sure to look that up. And also, members, we had a very interesting discussion on the double murder mystery, holiday revenge. There's been some things that came out about it a couple of days before they were murdered. Apparently, 911 was called by, I believe, one of the victims and said that there was somebody outside banging on their door. That's an update for that one. Okay, now you're really going to think this is weird, but trust me on this one. Now, whatever happened to Baby Jane? These are the Hudson sisters. This is a movie about sibling rivalry. So I wanted to look up the chart for the premiere of the movie, which is going to really show what the themes are, right? The common denominator of what I'm talking about and the earlier content is rivalry, also jealousy, betrayals, that kind of thing. So real quick, I just wanted to show you that there's T-square that shows there's an older sister in this. And that would be Pisces right here. Pisces is right in the middle of this. This is a jealous sister. Okay. And then we also have bullying on one side. So the square to Leo. And then we've got, this is bad. With Saturn, Saturn shows an older sister. It also shows a sad sister in despair about her age, which was one of the themes. But you're seeing what I'm talking about, which is the Scorpio. And I think we're going to probably see some things about siblings and sibling rivalry, but also getting revenge on each other. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that often with Scorpio. And I'm actually surprised we've got Mercury here. Mercury was close enough. It was moving in on Scorpio, and you can tell an animal. I mean, here's some animals here. But an animal is usually Mercury because they're small, and then you can tell what kind of animal it is when you're seeing what sign it's in. Interesting how the rising sign is in Gemini, which means that at this premiere, there would be two ladies who were experienced and older. And T square through here. They were jealous of each other behind the scenes. It was a real true life story. But usually Mercury is in here. And what does it represent when it's in Scorpio? And Mercury would start moving in as this ingress into Scorpio as this film got very popular during the next few months. One of the sisters, if you recall, served the other one a rat for dinner. Thinking about rats, okay? I'm just going to stop there. Often you'll see that with Scorpio. Do I think there'll be a new Arabian NATO? Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know. Will there be an Arabian NATO? Bad idea. That's my bad idea card. And clarifier card on the Arabian NATO. 7 of Wands. They're going to fight, and they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to do it. Too much fighting, maybe. Who will be president in December 26? Stormy Daniels. She hasn't decided yet. Looks like a female. She hasn't decided. It's so crazy how we're right here, and Kristi's name asteroid is right next to Mercury, representing a driver, and all of the basically twins that were all around. Everybody was inflamed, and now there are groups here. They're just infuriated. These are the bullies. These are the twinning bullies that we're in. It's causing a lot of problems. Because of the Black Moon Lilith with the moon, there's a different type of protest this time. It's more aggressive. It is a big change in how they protest. Now, yes, they're saying that things are going to be peaceful with the protesting. It is possible with the ninth house that could be something that's getting blocked. Already, I guess the deportation flight provider has stepped back and is no longer going to offer those flights. They're losing some things. They're losing what they perceive as fans. This is pretty important though, coming in. Now we're going to be in Leo for a little while. And the sun is activating. So this is Donald, and he's able to do what he wants here. So the sun is good for the king for a little bit. But then the vertex comes in, and this is a little bit of a challenge. There is a yod here and something pretty fated. It has to do with something that's Virgo. So Virgo, clothing, pets, cleaning, very, very, very critical here. There's more criticism than usual. Now, also what's interesting, you see that I put Melania down here. There's something wrong here. This is around the time that her Prime movie comes out. I think it's January 30th. And she really gets it. Let me tell you, she gets it. It might be a failure. I don't know what it is, but this is a pretty big shock for Melania of what's happening. It's kind of it's a wake-up call, I think, for her because of the square to Uranus. Could be some protests of some sort. I mean, I don't even know if they're showing it in movie theaters. But if you saw the trailer,
here we go again.
Those are the first words that come out of her mouth. Here we go again. The second time, right? So much Gemini. We're seeing two things. And so there's the Mercury in that month. It's like just everything is two. The problem is we don't want to see what happened with this poet again. And there's a possibility we're going to be seeing a twin car, quote unquote, accident, an assault. Gibson Health. Yeah. Because of her intelligence agencies. Yeah. This is going to be a very similar event that comes in because of the Mercury. Is there going to be a twin attack on a female by ICE? The star reversed. Will there be a twin attack? King of Cups. So these are two women. One clarifier card on or the second clarifier card on why we're seeing a twin assault. Is there going to be something twinning? Nine of Swords. So all females, it's not good. It's not good. We're not living in safe times. Very difficult. We should pat ourselves on the back that we're making it through. Oh, there's bushfires, you said, Angel. Jeez. This T-square, they are trying to work through, okay? This is the rising sign for the U.S., and we've talked about Pluto ad nauseum. Pluto and opposing Mercury is children. There's going to be talk of children as well. Lots of stuff coming up there, but then something comes in here where Mars is in Virgo. Again, Trump gets a lucky month or a period of time. This could be surgery. Is Donald Trump going under the knife or something? Because that Virgo, something happening with the health. Could be blood, could be needles. Whoa. Looks like yes. And two other cards. I don't see it really slowing him down though, but it does seem like, Mars isn't a needle. Mars is surgery. Because Melania is down here, whatever he's going through, she's like, you go without me. I'll just let me know how it goes. But it also seems like he's having some personal problems as well. This is Melania thinking about divorce, I'm afraid. I think she's kind of trapped. She is really angry about something. What is Melania so angry about? And this comes in the last few days of January, right around the time that this drops. What is Melania so angry about? She's in shock. Six of Pentacles. She got a lot of money for it. Of course, it would have to do with money. She's probably not happy at the warmongering and her family safety. Yeah, heart surgery. Definitely there's some heart palpitations going on with the T-square through Leo. That's for sure. One more clarifier card on Melania. It looks like there's some kind of a shock for her. And that's definitely a Melania card. So yeah, Eight of Swords. She can't do what she wants to do. Maybe she doesn't feel safe. Michael Wolff lawsuit and FLOTUS. With this Michael Wolff lawsuit, what is going to be coming out that Melania doesn't want to come out? Page of Swords. Maybe some of her ideas. Maybe something that she wrote. Look at that book there. There's words. Tell us about Melania's words. All about financial things. It's all about the money and more about the Michael Wolff lawsuit. What's going to be the most shocking thing that happens over the next 6 months with this lawsuit? Page of Pentacles. So maybe there's somebody, maybe he's getting fed some information that she doesn't know about. That would be shocking if somebody, if there's a betrayal. And of course, because we're seeing Scorpio, there's so much betrayal. So you're going to be able to do what you want secretly. You're going to have, a lot of underground meetings that nobody knows about, but at the same time, people will turn on you too. Yeah, this is a good question. Why do you think Melania wants a nest egg to leave? Is why she did the movie? Possibly. Yeah. But at the same time, I think, would you want to leave Donald Trump? I think she's stuck. Tell us a little bit more about Michael Wolff's lawsuit. Okay, the Star. Maybe there's something about Elon in there. Could be some kind of wish for being a star. Something comes to light, maybe. Knight of Pentacles. So maybe it's a relationship. February, we've got Maduro here. Keeping in mind, once we're up into the spring time frame, it would not surprise me if we're full on talking about Iran. So Scorpio is very, very Middle East. This looks pretty dangerous. It looks as if there's some real revenge fighting back and forth. Pisces is also, because there's so much oil here, it's like all he wants to do is take people's oil. He's like, where's the oil? He and Kristi are in quite a bit of trouble with all of this ice stuff well into mid-February here. It's just, everybody's just so pissed. These last months here are challenging because we have Pluto here. Wow, something's happening with Melania. This looks good for her because Melania's down here. It's almost like she gets her freedom. It's secret freedom. I love a nice trine to Uranus. That means you are free to go. When you got red lines all through Uranus, you're stuck. But it looks as if, and there's something, it might be in the news too, the ninth house. Ninth house is the press. What is this Uranus I'm seeing? Is there some kind of freedom for Melania? Oh, you're not going to believe this one. How about that? It tends to be when we're depressed, Saturn moon, we tend to like to eat ice cream because it makes us feel better. Raymond, Melania's Secret Service code name is Muse, chosen by her. Where is Melania going? Because she's going somewhere. She is free to go. Maybe it's a new quote unquote project and it's in Japan. And I say Japan because Japan is Virgo. I'm going to go over to Japan and say, you know what? It is so clean over here. So another card for Melania getting her freedom in the next few months. Four of Swords. Wow. Reversed. So Four of Swords reversed. That means that she's going to be putting her toe out, her well manicured toe out, and checking to see what else is out there instead of fire and fury. Now, I'm sure it's all very Zen-like at Mar-a-Lago. We Pisces, we love to do impressions. I like to do share, but that's after like a dirty martini. It's a good one. It's a good one. Thanks, Giant Golden Sun. Melania is pretty easy to do. Yeah, we've got a judge and a journalist up here. And that's coming in right now, obviously. But it is, oh boy, get your popcorn. If you really want to see Scorpio at its best, who cares about Netflix? All you got to do is just pop open, Google or whatever news channel you watch, because we're seeing some judges. We're seeing revenge judges. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Now, it looks like he knows some of them. He can schmooze, but not right now. It's going to be a little bit later on. There's going to be a connection with them. Maybe he can make a deal or something. There's another judge here. Look at that. Jupiter square. Was there a judge that died that was back in? Maybe it's not going to happen until here when Sag activates. So that's going to be maybe in April or May. And a judge, he says, night, night. Yes. Okay. This is a big deal. Okay. Back to the cards. And I say that because Saturn usually means death when there's a square. Sometimes we have it in our charts and it just means that we're depressed or we're stuck. Yeah. It's good, isn't it? No, Angel, don't do that. Angel, what, you don't like that ice cream? All right. So who's this judge? I'm trying to keep serious, but it's hard with you guys. It's just kitchen table talk, right? Okay. Huge protest. What's big D? Pistachio. Oh, I haven't had that one, Gibson. And I like the coffee chocolate chip and also the chocolate chip one. It's good. It's good. I know, Angel. Where's Jan? Well, she's asleep. That's where she is. she's in Wales. But anyway, what are we talking about? This judge. Am I seeing a judge have his last hurrah here? Is there some kind of ending? How do I phrase this? Is there a death of a judge in the next 6 to 9 months? Interesting. Hyperledger, you said Dallas. In Dallas. Okay, sorry. Oh, of course, because I'm from Texas. Or I'm in Texas. So there's a protest. That's kind of shocking. But Dallas isn't it more blue up there? Okay. So there is a judge here. Tell us more about this judge. It looks like this is going to be a big deal. Is this a Supreme Court judge? Ace of Pentacles. Ooh. Um, Queen of Pentacles. So maybe you got a loan. Maybe you got a sports loan and couldn't pay it. I don't know. Which is Scorpio. This is the mafia. This is loans. So, okay. Let's see what else I have. I'm just rambling here. But we do have some news here with Nicholas, and that's in opposition with Don not being able to get what he wants, but somehow, I mean, this is pretty big news for Maduro. This is Maduro probably early February here. And there's some kind of money exchange. And this is good for, believe it or not, it's good for the US because there's money coming in. So maybe it's just continuing to find out where the keys to the barrels are. That's possible. So anyway, real quick before I go, I wanted to look at some of the presidents. I didn't get to look at a lot of them, but I just picked this one. This is Zachary Taylor, and he died while he was in office. And in the solar return chart for 1850, the sun was squaring Saturn. Okay. And the sun is the president. So, and he died. He died. In fact, he died in this time frame, right in the summertime. He got cholera while eating cherries and milk, bad milk, I think. That's how he died. Can you imagine? And so you can see there's a T-square right through the rising sign of the USA solar return chart. You can also see that the sun is also ruling the government body itself. So everything stops and changes with that Uranus. This is a huge change. Pluto is lots and lots, and Uranus is to change. So we're seeing in office a president die. So now we've got 2026 ahead. And so this is next July. We're going to start this chart. And Mercury is going to rule. Mercury is retrograde and it is squaring Chiron. Okay. So this is somebody who is not feeling so good. We're also going to look at the MC, and it is in Aquarius, and Uranus is showing some kind of a change. So big time. Big time. Now, the biggest thing is that we've got the sun, which rules or which represents the president, and we've got a T-square to Saturn. And so this next year, this is going to be even as early as July, be the moon. Could be as early as August. What are we seeing with this T-square that involves Donald Trump next year? That's what I would like to know. Is this going to be quite shocking for? I mean, it looks like the government is changing big time now. Obviously, that's the midterms. Gibson, what are you saying? All right, so let's ask it. What are we seeing? That T-square in this chart with Donald Trump in the middle of it? What is it? 9 of Wands. Something that has to do with someone foreign. Someone planning something. 4 of Cups. Is it a health matter for Trump? 2 of Wands. No. Maybe it's 2. And somebody's stopping Donald Trump. Card for that. Yes, it's an emperor. Yeah. It could be a betrayal. It could be, is it an attack? Ace of Cups. There's a heart attack. But it's something very, very powerful coming in. Let's look at the chart one more time. Oh, is that true, Angel? That's crazy. King of Pop asked for milk as he was leaving this existence. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, Saturn is squaring the sun within 1 degree. This is pretty intense. And it's no success. It's being upset. It's losing something. And why do I say losing? Whenever you have a red line to Aries or Mars, and we do from time to time, it shows you don't fight this one because you're going to lose. So you already know ahead of time. But what is he losing? What is Trump losing? Oh, we got 2 of Cups again. Maybe JD Vance. Clarify a card on what Trump is losing in 2026. Oh, that could be Melania. Knight of Wands reversed. Yeah. So there's definitely some sadness there, at the very least. Yeah. Poisoned. Possible. It's funny we can say poisoned, but we can't say the other one. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight. But thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be on again. We're going to be talking more about predictions. We're going to be, tomorrow I'll be talking with the members about all the Twin City drama. And we're going to look at crime charts. So I hope you can join me then. And till then, I hope you enjoy your night. Jen, have a great cruise. And I'll see you guys soon.